coffee. Alrighty, well, what is going on, world? Welcome back once again. My name is ZacNovak and this is ZacNovak Plays Games. Now, as you can see, I do have this face cam going, and the reason why is, well, we got Crimson Days. It's actually coming in just over a couple of hours, I think. But at the moment, what I'm going to go through is all three of my characters. Let me just quickly go to this. All three of my characters have a lot of things that I can kind of get, you know, the weekly grind stuff, except for the Nightfall because I was too lazy to do it this week. We've also got a couple of engrams on all three characters, so we'll see what we can actually get. But before we do get into anything, oh wait, we already rolled the intro. Sorry, yeah, I'll edit that differently when you guys actually see it. But at the moment, I'm gonna pop myself some 3 of coins because, you know, 3 of coins help you get more exotics, and usually Cade in himself is fairly nice with his exotics and the stuff in which he kind of gives you. 1 second, let me just do this. Slightly bring this down here. Yes, it does show that my webcam and overlay is completely different, but let's just pretend that that was never there. Alright, so Cade's loot. What do we actually get from Cade? From this first engram, we get some Shinobu's Vow, which I do actually have to say, these are some pretty awesome gauntlets. I do like them, but they can't really beat the Orpheus rig for anything whatsoever at them. Oh, actually, no, maybe take that back. Celestial Nighthawk, because that can kill a lot of things. But yeah, we also ended up getting ourselves a 765, which, yeah, it's okay, but I wish it was masterwork. That'd be really, really nice. Also, am I actually lit clearly? Is this, you know, good for you guys? Is the volume alright? Because if so, it does mean that streaming in itself is gonna happen certainly sometime soon. I did actually message, what's it called? Google, that's the one, because I wanted to know if I could use Google Music in the background of some of my videos. They said no, so that's kind of bummer, but it does mean that I can kind of, you know, play around that and find other things, which is kind of cool to, you know, figure out that there's certain other services and things, tweak things you can actually use to kind of make streams look pretty freaking awesome. So what do we get from a good old Zavala? We ended up getting ourselves not an exotic or a masterwork. We got ourselves a The Took Offense chest, which I don't like that. I really took offense to that, really, really much. We also got a Nightshade, which is not really the greatest pulse rifle, I will say that. So let us go on and go to the next person. Who else do we have? I'm pretty sure we've got good old Soraya Hawthorne and her bird Lewis, because yeah, that bird, I really am upset the Bungie kind of nerfed him. Like, I really liked when he had that amped up ability where it's just like, he was amazing, he was awesome. Although maybe I want to punch him a lot. I'm not saying that I don't want to punch him now still, but it's one of those things, you know, if I was to punch him, probably wouldn't be good. Oh, that's right, I've also got to go and see the good old Warlock lady down there, which I really don't know why she is segmented away from other people, and yeah, anyway. This good old bird, I love him. He's amazing. Shut up, Soraya. I don't care. I like your bird more. What do we get from Soraya? We got a Graviton Lance. Not saying that I already had a Graviton Lance, but yeah, at least this one's 305. Oh, 335. This one's 305, which means I can just get rid of that one because we don't actually need it anymore. So, what else do we have? We've got good old Icarus. Ikora, the beast, the boss, the Warlock Ninja. Cool, she gave me an illuminated engram. Well, probably because I leveled up. Cool. Yeah, probably should have noticed that. I didn't actually get the level up thing though, which, okay, that kind of sucks. Not, well, it's not that it sucks, but it's one of those things where it's like, whoa, it looked cool when you got level up. It shows you all that stuff. I'm pretty sure that all started because of Call of Duty. Bum, 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 bum. That was some good stuff back in the days. Alright, so let us open up one of the illuminated engrams, and then we're going to go open up some other engrams. We ended up getting ourselves the Precious Metals Shell. Let us just have a look at that. Is this a different looking shell, or is it just meh? It's not the coolest. It does actually have some pretty awesome kind of, you know, freaking this stuff. I've just realized in the last few days, so check this out. You press Y and for some, oh, it didn't do it that time. Okay, take that back. I was gonna say it kept switching me back up for some reason. I'd go, anyway, I'm probably tripping. That's usually what I do. Not really. I do it sometimes, not a lot. Like this guy, how he doesn't actually, you know, he doesn't exist. I honestly still keep saying that this guy is not real, because like look at his like not his armor, look at his clothes, they're like glowing and freaking, he looks like he's from a computer. What do we get? We get some crappy, maybe not so crappy. Wait, what is that cloak at? Because if that one is higher than the one I've got, oh, actually, does that mean I can? No, it needs to be one more level. I've only got the Took Offense cloak, so screw it. Let's just infuse that on. Now we're 335 as my Huntress. That's cool. That's pretty alright. I actually didn't mean to do that. I like the Tome Patrol. That was a really nice scout rifle, and I regret doing that. But I don't really like they changed these out, you know, how it had that profanity on it. Keck. How is Keck a profanity? I get that it's a culture and it's a place and stuff like that, and this exotic gives me what? A Darcy. Okay, well that's not bad. I mean, I don't get Darcys too. Oh, I do get Darcys a lot, but not as much as I kind of get other things. So that's cool. But to say this sniper in itself, it is actually pretty cool and pretty beastly in the Crucible if you actually are, you know, good with snipers. I'm not, but yeah, it's one of those things where I think it's cool. It looks alright. It's not the best, but I mean, still looks alright. Did we actually, you know, manage to drop an engram somewhere? Nope, no engram somewhere. That's a shame. Anyway, the illuminated engram. What do we get from this illuminated engram? This lady better give me an exotic. And that's not an exotic. That is the orchid shell. Sorry, my TV is actually up there and I'm looking at the computer screen. This is, yeah, not really the worst, but hang on. Just switch that over. There we go. Now I have full image. Anyway, that shell is, not the greatest. Doesn't probably look the greatest either. Oh, actually, that's kind of cool. It does have spiky things. I might keep that. Spiky things are cool. And yeah, I don't know. What did I? That's right. I have all these so I can actually get things from different places. Anyway, that is my Huntress. Let us now switch over to the Warlock, or maybe Lay Titan, Potential Eye. Potentially. Oh wait, the Orchid Shell, is that the actual one that I can do the same as my one? No, it's not. The one that I've got is the half submerged shell. Why did I not realize that? I don't know. Probably because I'm me. I don't know. So honestly, I wouldn't have any clue. And honestly, I wouldn't really, not that I'm saying that this is bad. Like, do you guys like my content? Do you like this stuff where I'm kind of just, you know, sitting back, chilling, going on to a couple of different characters, or all three characters, getting all the loot that I have available on each of them? Do you guys like that? Do you like this face cam style of things? Because, you know, in the last few months, well, that was weird. Voice kind of just went down. In the last few months, there have been some good things, some bad things happening, some more than, let's just say, more than something I'd kind of wish on my enemy to have. But I will say that getting through it is something that's pretty cool. It's one of those things where if you teach yourself, I guess, to have patience, to kind of wait things out, to, you know, gratify a lot of things that you have in your life, whereas some people, they haven't got as much things as I would have, or vice versa and stuff like that. It's one of those things where people in the world, they go through some pretty messed up poopy. It's really weird trying not to swear while I'm actually opening this stuff, or even talking like this. Usually when I actually record a video, I will swear a bunch, and for some reason it's just gotten worse over the last few months. Probably depression. That's something that freaking sucks. Anyway, sorry, I just had to throw something. Yeah, so depression, I will say, it sucks. It really does suck. And if anyone out there is experiencing depression or going through this kind of thing, the only real kind of guidance or inspiration I can give you is just keep going. It's gonna be one of these things where it's hard and it's a freaking challenge, and to actually, you know, move on or become something better than what you kind of are or were is a big change in people's lives that kind of a lot of people go through. And teenagers, I'm certain it's the whole thing of, it starts when you're like 14, goes to like 25 or something like that. It's at the point where you reach, I guess, almost maturity of 18. You're like, the world is my oyster, I can go out and do all this stuff. If you aren't like, you know, if you didn't have an injury or stuff like that, you can kind of just go out there. If you didn't have problems, you can do your stuff. You can just be like, yeah, this is awesome. And that was what I did. I really, I haven't got enough space. Probably because I've got all these other ones, which is 328. I don't even need that. That's far too low. Anyway, what do we get from this? We get ourselves, ooh, some MK44 standard size, which I've already got. But, you know, it's not too bad to have a second pair. It means infusion fuel for something else. And I also ended up getting that. Or is that guy? Annual skate hand cannon, which I get so often that it really kind of doesn't bug me. But it's one of those things, you know, Bungie fixing duplicates and changing the game up it's awesome. I have to say that Bungie in themselves are actually, you know, a lot of people, sorry, a lot of people can hate on Bungie, and I understand why, but it's one of these things where there's no point hating a company or, like, you know, trying to go out of your way to downgrade people who work on a game and stuff like that. It's this whole thing of, as I was talking about depression, you learn to kind of change yourself. It's once you become 18, the world's your oyster, things start changing. If there is a snowball effect of a problem, it just keeps building and building and building if you can't actually fix it. By the time you get to about 24, 25, it's one of these things where if you actually have learnt to have patience, it's really not too hard to actually kind of sit back and go, hey, the world is a really effed up place, masterwork, but being in a messed up world is one of these things where a lot of people kind of have to go through. If I could give you any, as I said, inspirational quotes or anything of that type, it would be the one quote that I kind of move on and move back to every single time I have a problem. It is a let's see, it's a quote. It is I'm pretty sure it is a direct quote, but I won't really kind of say it's a direct quote just in case I'm wrong. But Winston Churchill, you guys might know Winston Churchill. If you don't, Google Winston Churchill. You'll be surprised on what the guy could actually accomplish as a human being. It is phenomenal. But he wasn't always the greatest person. He did go through some problems and some messed up times and stuff like that. But his biggest, like, inspirational quote, the quote that I always, as I said, go back to, is something that is just really amazing. And I'm kind of drawing this out until I get to Soraya and Lewis before I do open up this engram. It is this whole thing of learning to actually have patience, learning to actually be a person, to actually just, Soraya, stop talking for a second, to be a person. It's this whole thing of Winston Churchill became more than a person when he did actually quote, as he says, if you're going through trouble, well, his direct quote, if you're going through hell, just keep going. There's no point in turning back. Sometime in the future, you'll find where there's that open light, that area in which you feel safe, that meaningful aspiration that's always going to be there for me is just keep going. If you're going through hell, Telesto, just keep going. It's hard, definitely is hard, but at the same time, it's one of these things of nothing's going to be easy in life unless it's like, you know, going through and playing a game that's got beginner difficulty or like level 0 difficulty. Then that can be pretty easy. There's a lot of games out there that can be pretty easy. A lot of other things in life can be pretty easy in themselves, mainly because, well, if you don't let them affect you, then they're not really going to have a problem. You're not going to be affected. It's this whole thing of, I understand when people, guys, girls, whoever, go through all these different problems, these different messed up times, these things in which you just don't think there is going to be a way to recover. There will be. There always will be at every single point in your life, and there's no real point on kind of hating on yourself or hating on your life if you are going through difficult times. If you're experiencing depression, don't be upset with yourself, because that's just going to make you more and more depressed. Don't actually be upset. It's really hard to kind of do, to have this mental mind state to say, yeah, I'm not really affected so much by that because the emotional connection isn't really there. It's like the whole thing of, they say, if you remove a certain part of the brain, someone won't actually be able to feel something. Say, you pinch them on the leg, there's a nerve ending there. If you go to the brain and remove the nerve ending, there's not going to be the pinch. Here's the big thing. Well, if there isn't the pinch, and there isn't really this I got another Darcy, and there isn't really this problem, unless you make it a problem, then you and yourself are just being the problem, which I've had to learn. I've really, I scratched my head, I really actually have learned this, and it's not to say that I am actually good at it, not saying that I'm actually, you know, tip top, the guy that should be giving all the inspirational quotes, or, you know, any form of aspirational message, but the biggest thing I can tell you guys is keep going. Hard top regent ship. I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, just keep going. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult, but it's this whole thing of, if you are going through so much shit, if you are pushing yourself through this all the time, just until you get to this actual point where you can literally stand. You aren't dragging yourself through this mud, this actual downward problem, because you and yourself have changed that problem. You aren't really focusing on it. You're focusing your life on other things. And this is where it's gonna get, I guess, fourth wall breaking kind of thing, even though I'm a YouTuber. I'm not really even a YouTuber, I'm just a guy that uploads videos. So, yeah. It's gonna be really weird when I say this, but a lot of the things that I do say aren't coming from me per se. It's like there is, I'm not saying I've got voices in my head, but I do. It's not saying I'm crazy. Probably am, but it's this whole thing of who doesn't mind having a friend that's crazy or a buddy that's crazy. Like, that's cool. But yeah, there's this guy, I like to call him, let's say his name is, I will say with the name I keep calling him, his name is Alex. And I don't know why I've called him Alex. It's kind of just this whole thing of, I guess that's what the name I chose for some reason. But here's this whole thing. I learn all these different things. I understand different experiences and stuff like that, only for the fact of I may have gone through these kind of problems, these depressive times, these low points in your life that you can always experience, because life in itself it's always difficult. But it's this big thing of, hey, you are you. So the whole thing, you do you, boo. Literally, that's it. You don't have to worry about pretty much this whole thing of, if you're on the street, this is something that I've had to learn over time, and doing this is what's actually kind of helped me open up, which is really awesome, because it's like this guy Alex has just come through and he's like, bam, I know this information, bam, I can give you this knowledge. But no, not like that. Don't take that out of context. What he does is just you can't really say, like, it's like injects me with knowledge. That sounds horrible. He doesn't inject me with knowledge. It's just like, yeah, it's like having a partner kind of on your shoulder, someone that can always really, I guess, talk to you. Like, people have their conscience, and not many people realize, like, well, not many people these days talk about it so much and say, my conscience does this, or I have problems with this in my conscience. Cool, I got a Vespa of radius. Not saying I've already got one, but yeah, I got another one, so that's cool. That's cool. I just spat. I'm sorry about that. That was horrible. I apologize. But yeah, it's this whole thing. Alex gives me this knowledge, feeds me this information, teaches me the ways of the Force, if you will. Not really, it's just, again, it's the whole thing of, you have a conscience, and people don't really tap into their conscience so much these days. It's kind of, they just act on really instinct, and the whole thing of relying on free will and instinct isn't always going to be the best. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, those guys, yeah, that's some pretty twisted up, crazy stuff. And that guy, the business manager, that is the business manager of YouTube, did that interview with Casey Neistat, and I have to say it's, yeah, whoa, I hit the microphone. I have to say it's like, it's information, but it's kind of like blatantly painted on information as if it's not really the greatest type of, you know, it's really not good. It's just a cover up for what's actually there. So this turned into a really weird video. So if you guys are still watching this and you're kind of like, who is this guy? What the hell kind of drugs is he on? I can be honest with you, I'm on a few different experimental medications because of a problem that I have with my back. It is a split bursa, where the disc in itself, the L3, I'm pretty sure it's the L4 disc of my spine, has just eroded and is popped away. There is now a bursa below that is actually pressing out and putting pressure on my spine. It is horrible, it sounds really bad, and especially this whole thing where I actually have to use my cane to kind of really press on my back to pop this thing back in. It's this whole thing of that has taught me a hell of a lot of patience, and this whole thing of like, wow, you aren't invincible. You have to learn when you're young. Cold heart, that's cool. I haven't actually got a cold heart in quite some time. That's awesome. I think I actually dismantled my other cold heart, so I'm gonna keep that. But yeah, as I was saying, it's this whole thing. I keep saying it's this whole thing. I gotta make a t-shirt of that. It's this whole thing, and it's just got my face going, or like something like that. But yeah, you'll get through certain depressionative times in your life, the downward spiral dumps that people can kind of get into, the miserable days and the horrible nights. I understand you. I feel you guys. And if any of you guys are experiencing it or going through anything like that, hit me up on anything, and I can kind of, yeah, we'll have a conversation, we'll chat, just because it's always cool to have someone to talk to. And yeah, it's less expensive than, you know, kind of going to a therapist, which I'd have to say, it's kind of, you know, pequeña, it means like little, I think. Just like, I'm a little bit pequeña crazy, you know, something like that. Anyway, it's this whole thing of therapists do help. I just got a masterwork. See, talking about therapists, the game pays off. He's like, look at that, masterwork, straight up. Therapist, I keep saying that, therapist, sorry. Yeah, they're good. They're awesome to actually have, so you can actually bounce information off and have someone just to be the backboard of, you know, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling blue, tell me more, something new. I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's this whole thing of therapists can help, but what can also help is really just getting a camera like this, or even if you've got a GoPro. Whoa, nearly dropped that. This is my GoPro over here. If you got a GoPro, set that up and just record yourself talking to it. If you've got a DSLR, then whoa, set that up too, because why not? It's one of those things where it can happen where some people don't really, I guess, get that they are experiencing troubled times, which in itself is pretty crappy. But I will say, again, hit me up if you're experiencing anything. I can help you guys out. We got a Viced Silver, which, yep, I'm full. Cool. We need to work on these mods, Bungie. I know you're working on the mods already and it's gonna change in like a few hours, whatever. But yeah, still a problem for now. Anyway, this has been me babbling for, I actually don't know how long. Probably longer than I really should have been. Let's actually see what this looks like. Viced Silver. Is it cool? Is it fresh? It actually looks pretty decent. Kind of reminds me of Ivory. Ebony and Ivory come together in harmony. Sorry, I don't have music going. That's just stuff. Anyway, this has been ZacNovak. I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this video. If I do, then I guess it's just going to be a really raw video and you guys can kind of sit down and watch it and do what you will. Let me just kind of say Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI, Casey Neistat, YouTube, demonetization. I can put those all in the tags now. So cool. Thank you guys. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed this video, click the like button down below, leave a comment, do what you will, because you're a free person and free will is something that you can actually, you know, you can use for your benefit or for your disadvantage. It's your choice. I'm not going to be the person to kind of say, hey, there's a problem with this and fix it with this because my pequeña craziness, it's a lot. Not really. Anyway, this has been ZacNovak, babbling for some time because medication that is experimental and injections that go in my spine which really hurt. Anyway, this has been ZacNovak. Once again, do all that good stuff down below, leave a like, leave a comment, do all that, and I'll be cheering like Kieran if he was a cheering. Shout out to you, Kieran, as well, if you keep watching my videos. You're an awesome dude. Anyway, this has been ZacNovak. Oh, and also, I'd just say, again, if this setup is cool and likable, then yeah, streaming is definitely going to happen sometime soon. As long as I can kind of make sure that this internet connection stays good. I actually have, you can't really see this because it's too far away, but you see that little wait. Sorry about that. I did actually get a phone call, which I do apologize. I just had to kind of cut that because yeah, kind of it's my ringtone, so it's gonna be copyright stuff. Anyway, this has been ZacNovak. Once again, do all that good stuff, and I'll be cheering like Kieran if he was a cheering. But until next time, this is ZacNovak signing off. Peace out. Deuces. Fade away, fade away.